Hi guys, so I'm back with a new video and let's talk about Stephen King. So yes, I'm back with my Stephen King videos. I had this planned for a while. I just, as usual, took way too long reading the book. I've done a couple of these comparison videos, book versus show or movie. I did it with Doctor Sleep, I did it with The Outsider, and most recently I did it with Mr. Mercedes Season 1. And you might notice by the title that this is comparing to Mr. Mercedes Season 3, and that's because the show has a different order from the books. So Season 1 it's book 1, Season 2 it's book 3, and Season 3 it's book 2. So the last two ones are switched up, so you can expect the last book in Season 2, because personally that was my favorite season and I can't wait to read the book and tell you all about it, how similar it is or how different it is. So today I bring you book 2, which is Season 3 of Mr. Mercedes, and actually I decided to do this today because the day this goes up, I believe on March 4th, Season 3 is available on Peacock. So yeah, I had this planned. Now that more people can watch it, I think it's the perfect time to make this video. So yeah, let's jump right into it. Before I get into specifics, I'm going to give you an overall look on both compare. So overall, I just like the first one, the first book and the first season, this follows pretty closely to the book. Like, the show is pretty similar. They do change a few things that are a bit major and that make the story a bit different, but overall the plot is there and the same vibe is there. So I would say this is also a success, not as similar as the first one, but still pretty good. Again, I said this in my previous one, but I'm going to say it again. I did watch the show before reading the book, so yeah, that might influence me, I don't know, but I thought I should tell you that. And in case you don't know what the book or the series is about, this second book follows a group of teenagers slash young adults, I would say. I believe they're in their 20s, that stole and killed a famous writer, stole from and killed this famous writer. And this has mild spoilers, but I don't think it's really spoiling anything yet. But they don't get caught for this crime, but the leader of the group does go to jail for another crime. So before he goes to prison, he hides the things that they stole. And fast forwarding a bunch of years later, a kid finds the things that these guys stole, and at the beginning it looks like something really good happened to this kid, but then these things turn into so much trouble for this kid. So yeah, I guess this is the basic premise of the book and the show. And overall, as I was saying, although this follows pretty closely the book, some things differ because of the timeline. The book has two timelines, the past and the present, while in the show everything happens in the same year. So there's not that here difference, and that translates into a lot of different things that I'll get into later on. And besides that, this timeline that changes the characters, like their ages and all of that, there's also one character that the show adds that isn't in the book, which is Alma. I wasn't a big fan of her in the show, so I didn't miss her when I was reading the book, but I saw some people saying that they really liked that they added her on the show. So yeah, just if you haven't read the book and watch the show, just letting you know that Alma is not in the book. So now that I give you an overall review on how they compare, I'm going to get into specifics, and warning, this will have a lot of spoilers. I have to compare like little things, and a lot of these things will spoil both the season and the book. I'm going to try not go into the first or the last book, same with season 1 and season 2, because this book and this season is a different story from the other 2 books and the other 2 seasons, so I feel like I can not mention the other 2. So I'm going to try and just stick to this book and this season. So yeah, there will not be spoilers for the other books and the other seasons, hopefully. So good things first, the age of most characters is pretty accurate, mainly Peter. There's this whole thing with the timeline, as I said, that he starts off in the book being 13 years old, and in present time he's 17, I think. And that's the age that he has in the show. He's 17, I believe. So yeah, because they stick to the present, the ages are accurate, and the Halliday's death is also pretty close to the book. He does die in the bookshop, but in the book it's Maurice who kills him, while in the show it's Alma, which is one of the like goriest scenes in the show, I think, in that season, definitely. And the ending is also pretty close to the book, with Peter like setting fire to all the books that he found, all the books that Maurice stole. That is how it happens in the book and how it happens in the show. There's a slight difference with other things going on around them, but overall I think it's pretty similar, even with Maurice like being so obsessed with the books that he burns with the books, like he's trying to read the books, and he doesn't care that he's being burnt alive. So yeah, that's exactly how it happens in the book. So yeah, as I said, overall it's a pretty similar TV show. With saying that, they do change things because of the timeline mainly. So yeah, let's get into that now. So what main things did they change? One big thing that they changed from the book to the TV show is that Peter has a sister, and she plays a pretty big role in the book. Peter's sister is friends with Jerome's sister, so that's how Hodges gets involved with this whole thing, and it's Peter's sister Tina that goes to Hodges saying that her brother is in trouble and all of that, while in the show Hodges is looking into this crime because he's a fan of Rothstein. So that's a pretty big difference. Like, the girls play a pretty big role in the book. Also in the book, in present time, Maurice is a lot older than he is in the TV show, which offers some challenges when it comes to him going after Peter, because he's so old. There are certain things that he's not able to do. Like, there's one scene where he tries to go through a window, and because he's old, he struggles with it, while in the show he's young. He's not like Peter's age, but he's still young. He would be like in his late 20s or early 30s, I would say. So it's way easier for him to go after Peter, while in the book it's a bit more difficult. Another thing that I noticed, which I don't think it's a major thing, but in the TV show, Odge's whole partner, which is also named Pete, I think he's dead because of events that happen in season 1 and 2. And in the book they're just mad at each other, so I think they still talk in some scenes, but it's not really present in this book, because not because he's dead, but because they're not really talking to each other. Also, something weird is that Tina, Pete's sister, falls in love with Jerome, which is odd. That happens in the book and it never happens in the show because Tina is not in the show. Peter doesn't have a sister in the show as far as I remember. And I'm glad this didn't happen in the show because it was a bit weird, let's be honest. And then there's a few things in the book that actually happened in season 2 because they're about Brady, and that's how far as I'll go because I don't want to spoil the other seasons and the other books. So this is the main things that I noticed between the book and the season. I do think I need to mention that I wasn't a big fan of this season nor this book. As I said, my favorite season is season 2, and I enjoyed book 1 a lot more than this one. I've started reading book 3 and I'm enjoying it, but I can't really say much yet. But yeah, out of all seasons, the third one was my least favorite, and same goes for the book. So maybe I wasn't paying as much attention because I wasn't really invested in what was happening. I feel like Brady is a lot more interesting, and I didn't care much for Peter nor Morris nor all those other characters. I like Odges and Ollie and Jerome, but this was a lot more focused on Peter, and yeah, so I might have missed some things because of that. So if I did miss any like big differences, let me know in the comments so other people can know those differences as well, and I might have really missed that difference, so I'd love to know if you caught anything else. And if you've seen Mr. Mercedes like all the seasons, let me know in the comments which is your favorite season, and which is your favorite book if you've read 3 books. And if you haven't seen Mr. Mercedes yet, it is now available on Peacock. I am not being sponsored to say that, I just really liked the show, at least the first 2 seasons, so I just want you to watch it because it is a pretty good show, and I think it's a Stephen King adaptation that it's really underrated and a lot more people should watch it. So yeah, if you end up watching it, let me know your thoughts, your favorite season, your favorite book, and yeah, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and I'll see you in my next video.